Most cruise passengers see restaurants, pools, and polished hallways. Cruise workers see the hidden system underneath it all. They know how the ship guides you, tracks movement, avoids chaos, and resets overnight. Here are 15 secrets that can make your sailing smoother, and the final one changes how you leave. Number 1. The cabin sign may be pointing the way. That small room number plaque beside your cabin is not always just decoration. On some ships, its fish, wave, arrow, raised pattern, or sloping shape quietly tells you which way is forward. The fish points toward the front. A wave-shaped plaque may rise toward the front of the ship. Other designs use a pointed edge, a repeated symbol, or a subtle arrow built into the artwork. Cruise workers notice these details because they move through the same long hallways every day. Passengers usually stare at the cabin numbers, walk in the wrong direction, and reach a dead end, and then turn around. Now, the exact system varies by ship, so study the signs near your cabin on the first afternoon. Once you understand it, you can step out of your cabin late at night and know your direction without opening the app. It's a tiny design choice, but on a ship with corridors stretching hundreds of feet, it can save a surprisingly amount of wandering. Number 2. The carpet can work like a compass. The cabin plaque is only one layer of the ship's hidden wayfinding system. Look down. Some cruise lines build directional clues into the hallway carpets. Norwegian ships are especially known for fish that generally swim toward the front. Other vessels use maps, triangles, waves, colors, or patterns that change depending on which side or section of the ship you're in. Crew members also learn number ranges. They know which cabins are forward, midship, or aft, and which side is port or starboard. On some ships, even and odd room numbers separate the two sides, although you should never assume the same rule applies everywhere. Here's the smarter approach. On boarding day, identify 3 fixed points: your cabin, the nearest stairwell, and one major venue directly above or below you. Then learn whether your room is forward, midship, or aft. Think of it as 3 neighborhoods connected by elevators and stairs. Cruise workers rarely get lost because they don't memorize every turn. They build a mental map around sections, decks, and directional clues. Number 3. Most cabin walls are more useful than they look. A cruise cabin may feel short on storage, but much of the room around you can help. Large parts of many stateroom walls and doors are metal beneath their finished surfaces. That means magnetic hooks can hold hats, lanyards, light bags, daily schedules, and damp clothing. Crew members know this because cabin walls must be durable, compact, and easy to maintain. The secret is to use strong magnets without overloading them. A powerful magnet can hold more, but it still should not carry valuables, heavy cameras, or anything that could fall during rough weather. Place one near the door for your cruise card. Put another near the desk for charging cables. Use a third for the next day's clothes or excursion hats. That simple vertical storage keeps the desk clear and prevents small items from disappearing into drawers. And before you pack, download the free cruise packing checklist. It helps you remember useful cabin items without filling your suitcase with gadgets you'll never use. A smarter cabin begins with bringing less, then making better use of the space already there. Number 4. There's another ship behind the passenger ship. You see carpeted corridors, glass elevators, restaurants, theaters, and lounges. But behind the crew-only doors is a second circulation system built for work. Many large ships have a long crew corridor commonly nicknamed I-95. It acts like an internal highway, allowing workers to move food, luggage, linens, equipment, waste, and supplies without pushing everything through the passenger areas. Service elevators and stairwells connect that corridor to galleys, housekeeping stations, storage rooms, and public venues. That's why a dining room can reset so quickly. It's why luggage seems to appear outside hundreds of cabins. It's why a bar can restock without carts rolling through the atrium all afternoon. You may occasionally see one of these areas during an approved behind-the-scenes tour, but never follow a crew member through an unmarked or restricted door. Those spaces are active work zones and part of the ship's emergency routes. And once you understand that, the ship stops looking like a floating hotel. It starts looking like a carefully timed machine. Number 5. Your cruise card tells the ship who's on board. Your cruise card is more than a room key and payment method. When you leave the ship in port and return through security, the system records that movement. The crew needs an accurate count of who's on board before departure. That's why every passenger must scan individually, including children. As all aboard time approaches, the ship can identify which guests have not yet returned. Crew members may check names, cabin information, emergency contacts, excursion records, and reports from the port team. If you're on a cruise line excursion delayed by traffic or weather, the ship has a clearer line of communication. If you went independently, well, that protection may not exist. So don't confuse departure time with the all-aboard time. The ship may sail at 5, but require you back at 4:30. That earlier time is the one controlling your day. Take a photo of the port information before walking away from the gangway. Set an alarm that gives you a generous margin. Workers know that a missing passenger is not discovered by someone looking over the railing. It appears in the system before the gangway closes. Number 6. The announcements do not always mean what passengers think. Cruise ships use internal language to communicate quickly. You may hear a name, location, number, or coded phrase repeated over the public address system. Some lines use terms such as Alpha, Bravo, Oscar, or medical response language, but meanings can vary by company and ship. The purpose is not to create mystery. It's to direct the correct team to the correct place without turning every minor incident into passenger panic. A call may concern a medical issue, smoke investigation, maintenance problem, missing person, security response, or crew exercise. Sometimes passengers hear nothing further because the situation never affected them. Your best response is simple. Stay aware, listen for instructions, and don't crowd the scene. Never rush toward a location because you heard a code and want to see what happened. Crew members are trained to distinguish between information meant for them and instructions meant for everyone. When passengers need to act, the captain or safety team will say so clearly. Until then, calm attention is more useful than speculation. Number 7. The crew practices for the day nobody wants. The safety drill may feel like a short interruption to your vacation. For the crew, emergency preparation is part of the job. Workers are assigned specific duties that may have little to do with their normal role. A waiter may help direct passengers. An entertainer may report to a muster station. Housekeeping staff may check cabins or stairwells. Other teams handle firefighting, medical response, lifeboats, communications, crowd control, and accountability. Drills continue throughout contracts. Doors may close, elevators may be restricted, alarms may sound, and crew members may move into positions with equipment. This is why your muster information matters. The crew cannot assume every passenger will remain calm, remember the route, or arrive with the people in their cabin. They prepare for confusion. Learn your muster station before you need it. Notice the route from your room. Read the safety card. Keep essential medications easy to reach. The life jacket is not the entire plan. The real system is people, routes, communication, and repeated practice. The smoother your response, the more effectively that system can protect everyone. Now, the first 7 secrets help you read the ship. The next ones reveal how the crew controls time and why the final morning begins long before you think it does. Number 8. Your cabin steward learns your rhythm. A good cabin steward seems to know when you've left for breakfast, when you return from an excursion, and when the room can be serviced without interrupting you. Stewards learn patterns. They notice when your privacy sign changes, when breakfast usually ends, when towels are left out, and when the corridor becomes quiet. They may care for a large group of cabins, so timing matters. The faster they understand each guest's routine, the less often they knock at the wrong moment. And you can make that easier. Use the Do Not Disturb or Room Occupied indicator correctly. Remove it when you leave. If you sleep late, work from your cabin, or need service at a particular time, speak to the steward early rather than hoping they guess. Also, understand that service schedules vary by cruise line, ship, and cabin category. Some rooms receive service once daily. Others may receive additional evening attention. The secret is cooperation. Clear communication gives the steward a workable window and gives you a cleaner room with fewer interruptions. Crew members don't need you to disappear all day. They just need one reliable opportunity to do the job properly. Number 9. One wrong item can affect more than one toilet. A ship's toilet does not work like the one at home. It uses a vacuum system designed to move waste efficiently with less water. The system is effective, but it's not designed for wipes, paper towels, sanitary products, diapers, excessive tissue, or random objects. Even products labeled flushable can create trouble. A blockage may not remain inside one cabin. Depending on the location, maintenance workers may need to inspect a section of pipe serving several rooms. That's why a toilet problem can appear to affect neighboring cabins at the same time. Cruise workers know how much labor can begin with one careless flush. Panels may need to be opened, lines cleared, cabins checked, and affected guests assisted. Use only the toilet paper provided. Put everything else in the bin. If the toilet does not respond, do not keep pressing the button repeatedly. Call guest services or maintenance and explain exactly what happened. Embarrassment makes passengers delay reporting the problem. Delay makes the repair less convenient. Treating these systems correctly is one of the easiest ways to avoid an interruption. Number 10. The ship never really goes to sleep. At 2 in the morning, the public decks may look empty. Behind the silence, the ship is resetting. Carpets are vacuumed. Glass is polished. Bars are counted and restocked. Kitchens prepare for breakfast. Pool areas are washed. Maintenance teams inspect equipment. Waste is moved through controlled routes. Security patrols continue. Navigation never stops. A room beneath the pool deck may hear loungers being moved. A cabin near a service door may hear carts. Rooms above or below entertainment venues can catch bass, rehearsals, or late cleaning. Study the deck plan before booking. Do not only look at the cabins beside yours. Check the deck above and below. A blank space may be storage, machinery, a galley, or a service area rather than empty space. And once on board, use a white noise app. Close balcony doors properly and report repeated abnormal noise calmly. For deeper planning strategies like cabin selection, timing, packing, and avoiding common onboard problems, join the free Cruise Smarter community. Inside, you'll find extra tips, practical modules, and much more designed to help you travel with greater confidence. Number 11. Dining rooms run on waves. The main dining room may serve hundreds of people in a short period, but the galley does not treat every table as a separate restaurant order. Ingredients are prepared before service. Dishes are assigned to stations. Courses move in timed waves. Servers coordinate table progress so the galley's not asked for every appetizer, entree, and dessert at once. That's why arriving dramatically late for a fixed dining time can disrupt more than your own table. Your server may be handling several tables whose courses are meant to move in sequence. That's also why special dietary requests are easier when the cruise line receives them early, rather than after the kitchen is already in full service. If you want a calmer meal, avoid arriving at the exact moment a large show ends. On flexible dining ships, slightly earlier or later windows can feel smoother than the obvious peak. Tell the dining team about allergies clearly. Do not use the word allergy for an ingredient you merely dislike. Kitchens apply different procedures when a medical risk is involved. Crew members see dining as choreography. The more accurately you communicate and the better you respect timing, the more smoothly that choreography works for your table. Number 12. Service elevators explain the ship's sudden changes. Have you ever entered an empty venue, turned around, and found it fully staffed minutes later? Ships have service routes that allow teams to move quickly between work areas. A theater cast, restaurant team, housekeeping group, or bar crew can appear almost at once because they entered through backstage corridors, crew stairs, and service lifts. Those routes also explain why passenger elevators may occasionally seem slow during embarkation, luggage delivery, port calls, or disembarkation. Crew members may be moving supplies and bags through dedicated lifts, but some operational traffic still affects the wider elevator system. You can use this knowledge. On busy days, take the stairs for 1 or 2 decks. Walk to a less crowded elevator bank. Avoid trying to move between major venues at the exact moment a show ends or a port opens. If mobility makes stairs difficult, allow more time rather than joining the most obvious rush. Workers think in traffic patterns. They know when 3,000 people are about to make the same decision. A smoother cruise often comes from moving 10 minutes earlier, not from finding a secret shortcut passengers are not permitted to use. Number 13. Weather changes are discussed before they're announced. When an itinerary changes, passengers sometimes believe the decision was made suddenly. In reality, the bridge team, port agents, operations staff, and shore excursion teams may have been watching the situation for hours. Wind, swell, visibility, berth availability, tender safety, and local restrictions can all affect whether a ship can enter or leave safely. Excursion desks review alternatives. Supplies are adjusted. Entertainment schedules are reconsidered. Port contacts exchange updates. Now, that does not mean every rumor from a bartender or waiter is confirmed. Plans can change several times before the captain approves the final decision. This is why demanding an answer from the nearest crew member rarely helps. They may know a possibility but be prohibited from presenting it as fact. Watch the official app, listen to announcements, and read messages delivered to your cabin. Keep an independent port day flexible and avoid bookings with rigid cancellation terms when weather risk is high. The hidden secret is not that the crew knows everything first. It's that responsible operations separate a developing option from an approved decision. Until the captain announces it, the itinerary is still being protected, not secretly rewritten. Number 14. Turnaround day starts before you leave. The final morning may feel like the last few hours of your vacation. To the crew, it's already the first day of the next cruise. While you eat breakfast, luggage is being unloaded, supplies are arriving, cabins are being stripped, public rooms are being cleaned, technical work is being scheduled, and new passengers are moving toward the terminal. The time between one group leaving and the next group boarding can be short. That is why announcements become firm. Hallways fill with linen carts. Room service may be limited. Cabin stewards need access. Guests are directed toward assigned waiting areas instead of remaining in rooms. Check your onboard account. Pack everything except your morning essentials. Keep travel documents, medications, valuables, and a change of clothes with you. Look inside the safe, under the bed, behind the curtains, and in every charging outlet. Then, leave the cabin at the requested time. Lingering for another 20 minutes feels harmless from inside one room. Multiply it across hundreds of cabins, and the entire reset slows down. Cruise workers know that turnaround is not a pause between voyages. It's a controlled race with no extra lap. Number 15. The smartest disembarkation decision happens the night before. The final secret is simple, but it changes the way your cruise ends. Choose your disembarkation method before you're tired, rushed, and surrounded by half-packed bags. If you place luggage outside the cabin, follow the ship's deadline and keep everything needed overnight in a carry-on. That includes medication, documents, keys, chargers, shoes, and clothes for the morning. People have reached breakfast wearing evening clothes because every practical item went into a suitcase they could no longer access. If you choose self-assist departure, remember that you must control all your luggage through the corridors, elevators, ramps, and the terminal. It can be faster, but only when you can genuinely manage every bag without blocking others. And do not book transportation based on the ship's scheduled arrival alone. Arrival, port clearance, gangway opening, your departure group, immigration, and traffic are separate steps. Crew members see the same final morning mistakes every sailing: missing passports, unsettled charges, overloaded elevators, forgotten safe contents, and flights booked with no margin. A calm departure is designed the night before. Finish packing early. Sleep knowing where every essential item is. Then leave the ship with the same control you wanted when you first stepped on board. Now use these secrets to move through your next cruise with less confusion and more control. Like the video, subscribe, and click the video on the screen. I'm sure you'll love it. Keep planning ahead, stay calm when the ship gets busy, and always remember this: your voyage is just beginning.